Hey Thrivers, you're listening to Season 2, Episode 15. I'm excited to be joined by local stylist Jessica Timblin, and we'll be talking about all things fashion, from yoga pants and preschool pickup to shopping with intention and letting go of old clothes. Jessica is here to share some practical ways you can elevate your everyday style and feel more confident about what you wear. She's also going to share with us the 5 biggest mistakes most women make when it comes to clothes, which I'm pretty sure I'm guilty of. So stay tuned to see how you can up your style and feel more put together every day.
Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms. This is for all the women and moms listening. If you work from home, in an office, run your own business, or are the CEO of your family, this podcast is for you. Because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms. Rachel and Christine invite you to celebrate the victories, get advice, listen to their mom fails, and to know you aren't alone, to thrive in your everyday life.
Hi everybody, this is Rachel, and I am so excited to be joined today by a special guest who is in the fashion world, which is a little different than some of our other guests. We've never had a fashion guru with us, and it made me step up my game today. I actually got dressed in more than just like my maternity t-shirts and yoga pants. I felt like I needed to up my game. So I want to say welcome, Jessica Timblin.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. And Jessica is a local stylist. I didn't realize Lancaster had such an up and coming fashion scene, really.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to ask you. I have a ton of questions, and I'm excited to hear your tips. She's going to be sharing with us about the 5 biggest fashion mistakes women make. And I probably make all of them, so I should probably take notes. But anyway, Jessica, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into being a stylist.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am local here in Lancaster, and I feel like I've been styling my whole life. I sort of feel like as a little girl, I kind of became more into fashion, and I kind of just kept going with it as an adult. So, when I was younger, my grandmother was a member of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, so she was a dressmaker. So I would sit across from her sewing machine as a little girl and kind of watch her design all of her own pieces. And I think that's where I really started to learn about what fashion was all about and kind of get an interest in it. So I started doing that, and then as I got older, my friends would sort of ask me to make outfits for them. So I did a little bit of that as well, and just kind of worked my way up through the ranks in the fashion world.
That's awesome. That's really neat. And I feel like that's cool that it started when you were young. A lot of people bounce around from one thing to another, but it seems like that was something that kind of stayed with you.
Yeah. I feel like I had an interest in fashion that was different than my peers growing up. So it sort of felt like there was something about it that it interested me a little bit more than my girlfriends did. So I kind of continued with it as an adult and started a vintage Etsy shop. So I sold vintage clothes online, and then I did a street style photography blog downtown Lancaster as well. So sort of dipped my toe into different fashion industries growing up, and then I started my business.
That's really cool. So how long have you had your actual business? It's Jessica Timblin Styling?
Yes.
Or Stylist?
Jessica Timblin Styling, yeah. I've had it for 3 years. So I started it when I was pregnant with my second son.
Okay.
And I always say that I felt like he kind of gave me the nudge to do it.
That's
as soon as I got pregnant with him, it was okay, I think I'm ready to do this now. And it's been really awesome ever since, yeah.
Very cool. So I would love to know, like you said, anyone can sort of like fashion, but you obviously liked more than just putting things together. I mean, the fact that you did something with vintage clothes, you have an appreciation for styles, from decades ago. And I think it's interesting, I like reading articles that talk about how things are coming back around, but I don't know I know what an A-line dress is. Right. But I don't really know fashion terminology, and you're probably oh, that skirt is from, it's 40s inspired or whatever. So that's really neat. What exactly does being a professional stylist entail then versus somebody that just likes fashion?
So, well, my clients that I work with, I work with women, anywhere from college age to like 60 plus. So it really runs the gamut. But I have a 3-step process that I work with. I specialize in wardrobe consultation, personal shopping, and styling services.
Okay.
So the process is kind of a 3-step process, and it addresses your current wardrobe, what to shop for, and how to pull it all together. And I call it the sort, shop, style. So the first step in the process is the consultation wardrobe edit. So we meet in your home and discuss your lifestyle, likes and dislikes, and what you're looking to get out of the process. Mm-hmm. And then after I get to know you, we kind of jump right into tackling your wardrobe. And we go through everything piece by piece. We decide what to keep, what to donate, and what to alter or fix.
Do you throw everything on the person's bed like Marie Kondo?
Yes. Well, I do. It is like Marie Kondo, you're right. I think it sort of gives you an idea of what you have. So getting everything out of your closet. And then sometimes you might have like a stain on something or a rip, and you might not notice it if it's hanging in the closet. But if you pull it out, you might say, oh, well, I might not want this anymore. So we do go everything piece by piece.
Okay.
So then while we're going through the wardrobe, we compile a list of items that we want to look for when we go shopping. So that's kind of the next step. So the next step is the shopping trip. Mm-hmm. So we have a closet full of clothes, all working within your budget, ready and waiting for you as arrive, which a lot of people love because it's like you don't have to go through the store and kind of find things yourself. So I have them ready for you, and we hand select pieces that coexist through their current wardrobe. And then kind of give you some options that will work with your current wardrobe. And then the third step is the styling. So then we take everything back to your house, and I kind of show you how to pull the pieces together with your existing wardrobe, and I photograph everything. So kind of like lay everything out and sort of show you how to put the pieces together and create outfits for you. And I call it a digital lookbook. So basically you take pictures and then you put them into your phone, and then when you get dressed in the morning, you can just go to your phone, open it up, and you have all your outfits ready and waiting for you right in your phone, so you can kind of make it easy.
That's really handy. Honestly, I always am the type that since high school, since I really had to get myself anywhere on my own without like a parent driving me, I run late, and I don't know what it is, but I realized, especially since having kids, like having outfits picked out ahead of time is so helpful. Like, I don't know if maybe that's like what held me up. Like maybe I'm indecisive. I don't know. But when I have something that I know like goes with something else, it just makes life easier.
Definitely.
So I attended your workshop a few weeks ago, and Melanie Fisher had also, it's Melanie, right?
Yeah.
Yes. She had also talked about the whole capsule wardrobe thing.
Right.
So I've been trying, I feel like the common theme is like any professional person that has been speaking about fashion, the thing that's been sticking with me is like, don't buy things that don't go together. And I think maybe that's my thing, is that I just buy things I like, but I have no clue like what to pair them with.
Yes.
So it is a big deal, like when you actually have things that like you want to wear together, and you can just grab a whole outfit versus grabbing one item. And then the other items, like, I don't know. At least for me, it's been really helpful. So I like that a lot. And I try to do that with my kids. And I think maybe when you're shopping for other people, it's easier. So maybe on your end, doing the shopping for somebody, like, you can kind of see the big picture versus, like, someone like me that just is like, ooh, bright colors. I want that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why the 3 steps is really helpful, because we really start with the clothes that you have now. So I kind of can find out what you have in your closet. So that way we can make a list before we go shopping. So we're prepared for the shopping trip. It's not just going in blindly. We have like a list of things like, oh, well, I have this skirt and I have nothing to go with it. So we're looking for something to go with that skirt. Things like that. So it makes it really easy to be prepared going in ahead of time.
Yeah, that's super smart. I had to do that just the other day because I went to Home Goods. Totally different type of shopping. But if you go into that store without a list or like a mindset, I leave with like ottomans that I'm like, why did I buy this ottoman? Like, this was not on my list.
Right.
So my husband was along and he was like, why are we here? He's like, Rachel, just go to that part of the store, the blinders. Stop looking at everything else, because I am so bad at that. So So rule number 1, ladies, is to make a list.
Yeah, and we'll go through that with the 5 biggest mistakes because that's definitely one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I wanted to ask then, you mentioned that you were pregnant with your second child when you started your business. Mm-hmm. So tell us just a little bit about your family. We'll dive into that more later. But
okay, yeah. So I have, my husband and I have been married for 5.5 years.
Okay.
And I have 2 boys, a soon-to-be 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. So boy mom all the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, but it's funny because I get a lot of people saying like, it's fun to dress boys, but like I have so much fun dressing them. And like, I just love like creating outfits for them too. So I definitely kind of create a capsule wardrobe for them as well, especially in the summertime and school time. So
yeah,
I think it'll be even more fun when they get older because they're little now. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing that too because I'm having a boy.
Yeah.
And it's my first boy. I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, girls are always fun to shop for.
Yes.
But the boy stuff, I shouldn't say I've been struggling, but it is different. It's not as many options.
Yeah.
I've been surprised just trying to grab a few things like, oh, like this whole section of the store is smaller.
Right.
Like you go to Target and the girl stuff is like everywhere.
Right.
And then the boys section is like right here.
Yeah, the little corner. Well, it kind of allows you to be a little bit more creative too, I think, because, you sort of have to like, it's not as easy. There's not as many options. So I kind of like that. I kind of like being a little bit more creative with my boys' outfits and putting them in things that aren't like super, I don't know, super boy like cartoon characters and everything, like thinking a little bit outside of that.
Yeah, like more classic type stuff.
Yeah.
Because I like that as well. My mom was wondering, like, well, what are your colors? What are the things you like? And I was like, well, like when we were doing the nursery, I was like, so far I have like black and white. I guess I need to add like,
start, though.
I need to add a little bit of something. So I added like a little bit of orange. I thought like fox things were kind of cute.
Yeah. We did the fox thing with my first son when he was born.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it was just funny because I was like, I mean, I'm not super fashionable, but with the boy stuff, it's forced me to be like more, I guess, just more minimal and like really focus on like the pops of color because a lot of the other stuff kind of coordinates nicely.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how things go as he grows up. And
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I love being a mom.
That's awesome. And that's cool that you get to use your whole fashion side, even though you have boys. Like, I think some people hear they're having a boy and they're like, oh, it's the worst.
Oh,
and I didn't feel like that. I was just like, oh, like this will be different because
it's so fun.
Yeah.
You'll love it. It just takes some getting used to, I'm sure, from having 2 girls, but you'll figure it out. It's so fun.
Oh, well, I'm definitely excited for just the personality differences and things like that.
Yes.
I've heard boys are a little less drama. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right word, but just like a little more easygoing.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have, I would say one of my boys is more dramatic than the other, but it's just personalities. I really feel like it's just everybody's different, and some are more relaxed than others, and other ones are but you'll love it.
That's good. This is all good things to hear. I'm like days away from having this child, so
and you look beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm just getting like to that point where I'm like, okay, I cannot wait to see what he looks like. I'm excited for all those things. Because it's like actually happening. You talk about it for so long and it's finally coming true. So anyway, let's talk about the 5 biggest mistakes people make because I really want to know, and I think our listeners want to know if they're making them.
Okay. Well, we did this list at the workshop that we did and it kind of went over well. So I thought, your listeners would want to hear a little bit more about it. So the first biggest mistake that I see a lot with my clients is hanging on to old clothes. So a lot of times we hang on to pieces because of guilt, or maybe it was a gift or a hand-me-down item, and we feel like we have to keep it forever. So it doesn't exist with our wardrobe, and something that we would never wear, but we feel guilty about getting rid of it. So hanging on to old clothes, I think, is a really big one. So you have to be a little bit ruthless, I think, with your clothes, and just say that it's not serving you anymore and let it go. So that's a really big one, I think, for women to think about.
So even if it was a gift, you would just say like, let it go?
I mean,
or like, is there like a special place to put any of those things?
Well, there definitely is for sentimental items, I don't ever tell people to get rid of like, their wedding dress or their engagement dress or something like that. I would never say to get rid of it, but I would say to put it in an area that's not in your closet. So if you have like a little underbed like case or something that's like tucked away, put it somewhere where it's not in with your current wardrobe. If you feel like you still have to keep it, but most of the time it's just something that, you just feel guilty about getting rid of because maybe you paid a lot for it and you just never wore it, or you can always resell it.
I still have prom dresses. Did you keep your prom dresses?
I think I do have my prom dress. I think it's in the basement. So it's not in with my current wardrobe, but I do still, I think I do still have it, but. Oh yeah,
I couldn't fit into mine. It's not like it's like hanging. I opened my closet and it's like my prom dresses and things. Yeah. I have, in my daughter's room, they have a really big closet. So like I've kind of taken part of it and that's where like my wedding dress and those things are. But I didn't realize like, the prom ones were still in there until we were rearranging recently, and I was like, "Oh man, this could be a goal to
maybe your girls will want to wear them." Yeah, well, maybe they'll want to wear them someday, or pass them on to your girls, and
they could at least
styles always come back around, so you just never know.
Well, what's number 2?
So the second biggest one is having lots of trendy pieces and no basics. So my rule of thumb is having 70% basics and 30% trendy pieces. So oftentimes you'll go to a store and a lot of trendier pieces will be on sale, and you'll never see basics on the sale rack because basics never go out of style. The retailers can sell them over and over again month after month, and they're never going to go out of style. So you want to keep at least 70% basics and 30% trendy pieces to have a really nice streamlined wardrobe.
Okay, so this might be a dumb question, but for somebody that isn't really fashionable, what would you consider, like, can you give an example of, like, a trendy piece versus, I'm assuming a basic would be, like, your plain colored, like, tees or layering things, stuff like that.
Yeah, so basics, exactly. They would be, like, even skinny jeans at this point are a basic, so just, like, plain basic jeans, basic white tees, black tees, those would be your basics. So those are kind of the foundation of your look. And then trendier pieces would be things that really won't stay around for very long. Maybe it's like a certain neckline that's just in style right now, or a certain print that's like really big right now. Like right now, actually tie-dye is making a comeback for summer. So things like that kind of come around here and there that won't stay around for very long. I think, you want to make sure that you only have about 30% of those in your wardrobe because they're really not going to stick around for much longer than you really want to keep them. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So that way you're not spending a lot of money on trendy pieces too, because you only have a little bit of them in your wardrobe and you kind of mix them in with your basic pieces.
Okay. I like that. I feel like that's doable.
Yeah.
I think I took notes. I'm sure I took notes when you had done your workshop, but I feel like I took in so much information. It was like information overload that day.
Yes.
So I was like, oh man, all I know is I have work to do with my closet.
So the third one is buying clothes that can only be worn in one way. So when you buy a new piece, when you go to the store, try to make sure that you can style it in at least 3 different ways and have it be suitable for at least 2 occasions. Okay. So unless it's like something for a special occasion, like if you're going to a wedding or something like that, try to make sure that everything you're purchasing can be styled 3 different ways and worn for at least 2 occasions. Okay. That way you're getting the most bang for your buck. You're not just spending, aimlessly on things, and you can really get a lot of wear out of your clothes, which I love.
Yeah. I feel like that's so good with like jeans and things like that. I think some people are like, why would you spend all that money on jeans? But I'm like, if I'm going to buy a pair of jeans, like those are something, I'm going to wear them way more than 3 ways. Like I'm going to wear them all the time.
Right. Cost per wear.
Yeah. So I don't mind spending more on like that type of thing. But even like, that's good to keep in mind with like dresses and stuff.
Yes.
Because I guess, and what would you say about like special occasion? Like, I mean, if special occasion, do you have to wear it 3 ways?
No. So special occasion wouldn't apply to this. So anything that's in your current wardrobe that you access daily would be the 3 different ways and 2 occasions rule.
Okay. Yeah. So that would, just thinking about like summer coming up.
Yeah.
That would apply to that. Like, so if you run to the store, don't just buy like crazy prints that you'll only wear one time.
Right.
Maybe get like a more neutral dress that like you could wear with a sweater, like wear it with a belt or...
Yeah.
My gears are turning.
Okay.
I feel like this is
Good.
doable. This is doable.
They're easy. These are pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not like things that, it's not crazy. Like, It's like, why didn't I think of that?
Sure, yeah.
But I feel like it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. So the next one is ignoring the foundation. So if you know you're getting your makeup done, like you can have a beautiful smoky eye or a bold lip, and if your skin isn't right, it's not really going to matter. It's not going to make the same impact. So the same goes for your undergarments. So we're talking Spanx, bras, all of that, which are totally fine, by the way. Spanx, if you want to wear them, like please, by all means, like go for it. But just making sure that all of your undergarments are fitting correctly, because anything that lays over top of them is not going to look the same if they're ill-fitting. So you really want to make sure you know your measurements, get your bra size checked, and make sure that everything is fitting correctly. That way your clothes are going to be looking the best that they can over top.
Oh, so true. Yes, I remember this part of the workshop now. I was dying because you had us like do our measurements.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'll jot this down so I can remember like my 34-week waist.
And now you have it. You can put it in the baby box.
Oh, I remember that now. But that is also another one that like I feel like I order a lot online, so actually knowing measurements is helpful because not everything is sized the same.
Right.
And I swear some of them, when you check like how it fits and it shows you like the measurements, like I don't think they're all that accurate.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm like, okay, I am pretty familiar with my measurements, but I ordered this size and like could have ordered that size.
Right.
But yet it is at least helpful. It gives you a guideline. If you're ordering online and you're like, I don't know where to start, like, because some things only come in like small, medium, large, or whatever.
Sure. And every brand is different. So if you know your measurements, those are never going to change. So if the website that you're looking at, or the shop that you're looking at has measurement details, go right to that. And then at least that way you can know like, okay, a small is this, a medium is this. So makes it easier.
Okay. Are there any places, like go-to places of yours that you feel like are more true to size than others?
Oh, that's a good question.
I just feel like some places are like kind of notorious for like running big or running small. Like as a teenager, even as a teenager, I feel like I could not shop at like Abercrombie when that was like the trend.
Right.
It just never fit me well because I was always curvy and like their stuff was tiny.
Yes.
Their stuff was where my friends who were like a 00 would shop.
Right.
And I would go to like Aeropostale or however you say that.
Yeah.
That was the other trendy place and it fit a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or Old Navy.
I think, well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of H&M, but I think that you have to like know what your sizes are there because they are like a little bit different than any typical clothing store that you would go to, but I think that they are pretty consistent. So if you know what your size is at H&M and you go there, it's pretty consistent every time, I found.
That's good to know.
But places like, I've found like Old Navy, like does run bigger. There are a lot of like bigger women's clothing boutiques that they'll actually make the sizes bigger, but the number smaller so that you're feeling
they
like
make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. So it's sort of a technique that they use. So you do really have to try the clothes on. You kind of have to know what you are in each brand.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I will say the one pair of jeans that I'm like so excited to fit back into after having this baby, I found these amazing jeans that I think I talked about on the podcast before because I'm like, these are so great. I love like Lauren Conrad's clothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll order online. I follow her on Instagram, of course. And some of it they carry at Kohl's. And these jeggings, they're like pull-on, but they are actual like denim. Yeah. However, they're pull-on like jeggings would be. Like they have an elastic top. Right. But they have real pockets. Like they're higher waisted. So like I'm not a crop top kind of girl. So you would never know when I'm wearing them that like they don't have like a regular zipper or whatever. Yeah. And I wore them like halfway through my pregnancy because they just kind of stretched with me, but they still looked good. And I keep telling my husband like, oh, I can't wait to wear these again. Like I just, every time I open my drawer. So they're a staple that I will say like, shout out. Like that's probably a trend with elastic and like whatever, but if you need comfy jeans.
Yeah, jeggings are great. I mean, I think that's definitely a trend that I've seen a lot more. And I've actually even seen in dress pants now where they're doing like an elastic waist, but they'll put like a little indentation in so it looks like a zipper.
Yes.
So it looks like you're wearing like a zipper with a button, but it's so much more comfortable.
Yeah, that's how these jeans are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never seen them in dress pants, and I just ordered a pair actually the other day, and they came like that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize.
What is the brand? I get advertisements for these in my Facebook feed.
Oh, okay.
There's like a girl doing like a cartwheel in her like, it looks like she's in like her dressy like work pants.
Yeah.
And then they talk about how like they're the most comfortable like work pants ever. Like
this one was ASOS. So it's ASOS.
Okay.
And they have an online, they're all online, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they have any actual stores, but they're an international store, and they are amazing. Like I find so much really unique pieces on there, but they had those pants that I ordered. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was very surprised when I got them. I was like, oh, these are really comfortable, but I'm not the kind of person that minds a button and zip fly, but there definitely are. I mean, like if you're pregnant, by all means, like please wear an elastic waist, but like it's just a better option if you're wearing like a longer top, like a tunic style top, like nobody would ever know.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I like about them is because a lot of my tops are a little longer. That was something I was going to ask. I recently learned this. This was another thing. Thank you, Inspire. At our all-day mastermind this past week, they had, I think 5 or 6 different speakers. It was like another one of those days where I just left and was like, oh my gosh, so much information. It was all great stuff. They had like what's the book called? Profit First. Mm-hmm. They had like a Profit First coach here. There was a woman that talked all about just like leadership, things like that. And then they had a woman, she's on Instagram, Style Guru.
Okay.
And she talked a little bit about fashion. Her whole thing is color. She's like a color consultant.
Yes.
And her big tip was what is it called? Like the 2/3, 1/3 rule. Like no matter what you're wearing, like don't cut your body right in half. Like generally, like if you have a higher waisted pant, like tuck the shirt and then you'll have a thinner waist. Or if you do have like a legging or something, wear more of like a tunic type top. And then again, you have like 1/3 on the bottom and 2/3 on the top. And anyway, she showed us like a picture of the Eiffel Tower and was like, why is this so pleasing to look at to so many people? And she talked about the 2/3, 1/3 thing. So I was like, okay, maybe like that's why I'm drawn to like, I don't know, what I typically wear, although I'm not a fashion person.
Well, at the workshop that we attended, we talked about body type. So that's definitely something to make yourself aware of what your body type is, to get your measurements, because I think that does definitely play into like how you're going to dress and proportion-wise. So if you have a shorter waist, you might not want to wear something with a high-waisted jean because it's going to make your waist look even shorter than it is. Oh. So things to keep in mind like that. But knowing your body type definitely is really helpful. And hopefully we'll do another workshop at Inspire coming up.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
So if you missed the first one, I'm sure we'll have another one coming up soon.
Well, stay tuned. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're also going to talk a little bit about just the mom and the business life balance, because Jessica is also a working mom, and although Christine and I were talking about this ahead of time, she was so bummed she couldn't be here. For those of you listening, Christine is a full-time teacher. She teaches 2nd grade, and those darn kids needed her more than me today. So anyway, that's where she's at. She is teaching, and it's mid-morning, so I couldn't steal her from recess. But we were talking about all these questions we have for you just with fashion and what is your schedule like, with clients and things like that. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Hey Thrivers! Today's episode is sponsored by Rachel Klein Marketing and Creative. That's right, that's my own personal business. If you've listened to the show, you've probably heard me talk about mom life and business a lot, but you might not know what I actually do. Well, since 2014, I've been designing websites and offering social media marketing services for small businesses. I work with companies here in PA and across the United States, and it's my goal to help small business owners grow their online presence with social media, SEO, and responsive website design. If you've been considering a new website in 2019, I want to personally invite you to schedule a consultation with me to review your existing website and receive a quote for a new mobile-friendly website that will highlight your skills and your services. You can find all the details at rachelkleincreative.com or email me at rachelkleincreative@gmail.com. Simply mention the Thrive Podcast. Welcome back, Thrivers. This is Rachel, and today I'm joined by Jessica Timblin. She is Lancaster's premier stylist.
Hi.
And when we say stylist, we realized earlier sometimes people think hair.
Yeah.
But she is a fashion stylist. She works with all types of women. And what I actually thought was really neat was while we were chit-chatting during our break here, she mentioned that a lot of her clients are really just like your average moms, like people that just want a little help with like cleaning up their closet and coming up with a wardrobe that like really fits them. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really, I feel like a lot of people have this perception of personal stylists as being like for celebrities or people with a lot of money. And it's really not like that at all. I mean, I work with women college age through 60 plus, and they're all just real women who maybe they just hate shopping or they just are not sure how to put outfits together.
Yeah.
So it really is just like real, I hate using the term real women, but you know what I mean? Like real women, all different walks of life, all different lifestyles, that just really want some help putting their wardrobe together and making themselves look a little bit more put together.
Yeah. And I think that's just so useful. Like we were talking about earlier, some of these tips that you've shared are things that I'm like, I could implement that pretty easily. Like it's not rocket science, but I just feel like I have such a closet that's such a, I don't even know the right word. I want to say a cluster F. But this show is supposed to be clean. But that's what my closet is. Yeah. It is just like a mess of different things. And I kind of have certain stuff that I pull from and I know is like more basic, like more my staples.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it would be helpful to just have someone come in and be like, Rachel, do you need these things? Do you? The one thing that Mara encouraged me to get rid of was like stuff that doesn't fit anymore. Yes. Mara has been on the show. She's a personal organizer. And so she doesn't do the whole fashion part, but she is helpful if you need to get rid of things.
Yes.
With encouraging you to let things go, like you were saying. And I finally had these like BB dresses from like the college and like the few years after phase.
Yes.
That, you know, I would wear like when we went out, those bandage style, like cute little like mini dresses. And I don't know if it's because like, I don't feel like they were that sentimental, but I think it's because at the time they were a lot of money to me.
Yes.
Like when you didn't have a lot of money in college, spending like $80 on like a little dress was a lot. So,
and that's kind of going back to what I was talking about before with hanging on to old clothes, like because you feel guilty, like, oh, I spent all this money on it. And really it was like, 10 years ago or something that you've had it. It's
like, I'm like, why am I worried anymore?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't married. Like my husband doesn't know how much I spent on it. It's not like it has sentimental value. Just anyway. Get rid of those things, ladies.
Yes.
If you need someone to give you permission, maybe that's why I felt like Mara had been helpful. Like she, like just was that person to say like, it's okay. Like it's okay to get rid of those things. Like you don't need to feel guilty. And if you are like feeling like eco-conscious about like, I know some people are worried like clothes end up in landfills, things like that. Well, then donate them.
Yeah. And we have a whole process that kind of targets that when we go through clothes. It's like we decide what would be good to donate and what we want to like try to sell, because a lot of people, I mean, that's one way of not feeling guilty about something is trying to sell it again. And there are definitely ways that I can help you do that, because a lot of times people get intimidated by posting clothes online and how to sell it and how to really promote it and stuff like that. So that's a whole other thing. I have a package called Sell My Stuff. Oh. So you can actually give me all your clothes and I will photograph them, edit them, and post them on Poshmark, which is an app that you can use to sell clothes. I've had some really good success selling and buying clothes on Poshmark. So I really like to use that app in particular. I've had some good success there. So that's a whole other package that maybe we can go into as well. So.
Oh, that's really cool. I did not know that you did that. Yeah. And I actually, it's interesting you mentioned Poshmark, because it's another one that like I don't really know a lot about, but I see things for Poshmark come up a lot in like my social media feed.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's one ad in particular, it's like a video one that I must have watched a few times, because it's like this girl who talks about like all this money she's made from Poshmark. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I wish I could make money doing it.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of purses that like would probably be great for Poshmark.
Oh, yeah. Usually accessories sell really well. But I mean, if like higher end clothing does too. I mean, even like H&M, Old Navy, even that stuff will sell. So as long as it's in good condition and it's like a current style, you can definitely make some money. Just like make you feel a little less guilty about getting rid of things.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that for anyone that might have been counting earlier, I actually only let Jessica tell us the 4 mistakes that people are making. And there's another one that we're all guilty of. So after you go through and get rid of things, when you want to go shopping again, I think this is where this one comes in.
Yeah. So the last one is not having a plan when you're going shopping. So this is probably the biggest one. So that's why I wanted to make sure like we definitely talked about it, because this is one that I think we're all guilty of at some point, is just kind of wandering into a store and not having a true plan of like, what do I need? What's in my wardrobe currently? Like, what exists in my wardrobe? So I think a lot of times if you're making a cake, for example, like you're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to have your list of all your ingredients that you need to buy for your cake. Well, a lot of times we do that for the grocery store, but do we ever do that going shopping? Do we make a list of all the things? A lot of times we don't do that. Yeah. So having that list of things, like before you go in, checking your wardrobe and saying, okay, I have this pair of pants that still have the tags on it and I just don't know how to wear it. I have nothing to go with it. So you write down, okay, top to go with blue pants or something like that. And then when you go to the store, you have your list and you're ready and you're more prepared and you're more conscious about what you're purchasing rather than just kind of wandering in and, oh, there's a sale over here, and then going to the sale rack and kind of getting things that, you know, you would never wear, or maybe they'll just hang out in your closet forever. So really being intentional about the items that you're purchasing is really an important thing to remember.
Yeah, that's so big. It helps you keep those blinders on, ladies.
Yes.
So that you don't do what I do.
And having someone go with you too, I think that's really where a personal stylist helps, is having that second set of eyes to really say, okay, you know, you don't need another black dress. Like you already have 3 that you don't wear, you know, like kind of your second set of eyes is what I like to call it.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be so helpful. Yeah. And you should probably, this isn't something she mentioned, but you should probably get a babysitter too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like part of the reason I'm so bad at shopping, at least since kids, is because sometimes I'll go with a friend and that'll be great. Like I'll get really cute things and I usually have a little more time to think about them. But when you have like kids that are stressing you out and you need to go into the fitting room and then they're like, Mommy, I see your boobies. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. It just makes you rush and then you get flustered. At least maybe this is just me speaking. But
I think we've all been there.
I feel like that's part of the reason I have made some of the purchases I've made over the past year or two. Like some of them have just been like, I don't have time to fit this on because I have my kids with me. Right. Or when I have attempted to fit things on, I'm like sweating and like frazzled, and so things probably aren't even fitting me properly.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think that's like a big like plus for when we go shopping, because it's like sort of like a nice thing to do for yourself. It's just to like have that time for yourself to like go shopping one-on-one with me, and like we just have such a good time. Like we always just like laugh, and like I'll pull things and be like, let's just try this. And it's like I'm pulling things for them that they're not necessarily going to pull for themselves, and something that they might not have tried, and kind of getting you a little bit outside of your comfort zone while still staying true to who you are.
Yeah, and that's so true. Even with a friend, like I feel like I try things on that, like you said, might take me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have someone just be like, hey, this might look good on you.
Right.
And you were just looking for something simple, but yeah. So I feel like your services definitely sound so useful. If somebody would want to contact you about either, you know, having you help them go through their wardrobe or even like the Poshmark stuff, how would they find you?
So I'm on Instagram at Jessica Timblin Styling, and my website is just jessicatimblinstyling.com.
Okay.
And for your listeners today, I'm going to be offering a 10% off discount for the Sort Shop Style package if they book by the end of this month, so by the end of April.
Okay.
And so yeah, just a little added incentive for your listeners to try the package and see if it works for them.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
And then I wanted to pivot a little bit and ask you, just as a stylist, you know, what is your schedule like? How do you juggle? Your kids are similar in age to mine.
That's
so
right,
I know it can be a lot. Like, how do you juggle that? Do you have like work days, or do you have childcare? What do you do?
So I try to schedule on the weekends mostly with my boys, because my husband is home on the weekends with them. So he works a sort of like a 9-to-5 job. So he's there during the day. But if I ever have a client during the week, I have my mom and my husband's mom that watch them right now. They're the only two people that watch them. But I think eventually we'll probably end up getting a babysitter. But I mean, the juggle is definitely real.
Yeah.
I mean, I am definitely like right there with you. Just because I'm a personal stylist does not mean I'm like looking like hot mom all the time. That is not the case. So I definitely think it is a struggle, and it is a juggle to get, you know, the whole life-work balance when you have kids. But I think it's possible, and I really try to help women, and that's why I love working with moms, because we do so many things for so many other people, and it's really such a treat to just work with them and have them focus on themselves for once. I think that's a really big thing, is that we get so wrapped up in the day-to-day with our kids that we just forget about ourselves. And a lot of times, like, my clients' kids will have a better wardrobe than they do. Yeah. And that's just, it's so true. I mean, there's just
feel
so
like
many.
That right now.
Yeah. It's just, I see that a lot. So I just love being able to like give that time to them and have them take care of themselves, a little self-care. Self-love.
For sure. And we are all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Christine, just the other day, I love that she is so good at doing things independently. Like, when she has some time, she'll be like, I went and I got a meal and I sat there and I read a book and I ate it all by myself. And
it's the little things.
Yes. It's like the little things, or just going to get a pedicure or whatever it is. I love having Christine as a friend, because she's always the friend that will be like, no, you need to do that.
That's so
like
great.
When you need someone to just tell you, like, not to feel guilty about spending that money, or like taking the hour to yourself. You know, I love my dear husband, but like sometimes I feel like when I leave the kids with him, he is already like, so what time do you think you're going to be home? Yeah. And not that he doesn't mind, like, not that he doesn't want to spend time with them, but it's like, to him, it's a little stressful.
Sure.
And she's the friend that'll be like, Rachel, you just go do what you need to do. You don't even tell him when you're coming back. You
awesome.
have those kids all the time.
That's so great. That's so great to have a friend like that, because you do need that like motivator. Sometimes if you don't do it yourself, like just somebody to be like, okay, you need to do this for yourself. Like, you don't feel guilty about it. Like, you've done all these other things for everyone else today. Like, do something good for yourself and treat yourself.
Yes. And I think sometimes, I don't know, have you ever done the Enneagram?
I have, yeah.
What number are you?
Oh, gosh. So I don't know too much about it, but I know that I'm pretty sure I'm a 7.
Okay.
Which you'll have to remind me what it even...
I think a 7 is like the... oh shoot, what's the word? Christine's a 7.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, I would
creative
love to meet Christine,
and like start a lot of things.
Yes, that's it.
Maybe you don't always finish them, but you always have like new ideas.
Yes, always something going on for sure. And then I think the other one was the achiever, the 3.
Okay, that's what I am.
So I think I'm a little bit of both, depending on the day.
I'm a 3, and my like strongest wing or whatever, I'm also not like an expert on it, but I always think it's interesting to learn if someone's done it. Like, oh, well, what are you? My wing is like a 2, which is, I believe a 2 is like the helper.
Okay,
So I think that's why sometimes I feel really guilty. Like, I feel like I need to like be helping, and like even at home, like I am maybe a little bit of a control freak as well, but I also feel like I need to be helping. Like, my husband could do more, but I am just like, oh, well, I can do it. Like, I got it. Like, I always do this, so don't worry about it.
Right. And I think that's just innately ingrained in women's brains to like be doing all the things.
Yes.
And feel like you have to do it all, even when you really don't. You have help to do it. So
that's probably true. And I do feel like being super pregnant, I have learned that there's just some things that I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that anymore.
Right.
Like, I've made him like clean out the bathtub, and like the things like bending over.
Oh my gosh,
I'm like, nope, I'll do this. You pick up all the toys.
That's right.
Like, I cannot.
That's good. You have like some systems in place where you're like, okay, I'm not doing this.
Yes.
I am too pregnant for this. And you have every excuse.
Oh, yeah.
Use the card while you can.
Oh, I will. That is the one thing. Like, we have a lot of projects going on at our house right now, and I'm like, oh, kind of glad that I'm pregnant, because I can't help you do those yard work things.
That's
like,
right.
I can't pick weeds. I really can't. Bending over, I might go into labor. So.
Yeah, sorry, honey.
So back to the fashion thing, I would love to know if you had mentioned some brands, or you had mentioned for yourself, you really like H&M for basics, things like that. It's probably a good place to take clients, huge selection, to get some of those basics covered. But what about kids things? Do you have any kids places that you enjoy, like, or you feel like boy, girl, whatever, like you can get good stuff?
Yeah. Well, not to harp on H&M again, but I do shop at H&M for my boys too.
Yeah.
I actually use their app, which is like really good. It's like it's sort of like a secret. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but if you use their app, you can scan things in the store and you can like get a lot of things on sale, like because the sale price will come up online and they will honor the sale price.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of things online, like I'll just scan it in the store and it'll come up and yeah, I can get things for pretty cheap. So
good to know.
H&M, Old Navy, I think I said again, but I just kind of stick to like classic stuff for my boys. I don't get like too crazy. But another thing that I love to do for my boys is like going to like thrifting. There's like consignment sales that are like pretty popular in the area. Like Reusables is one of them. And they have like a huge consignment sale for kids like twice a year. And we hit that up twice a year. And like I will get like their whole summer wardrobe for like under $100. Like it's really been awesome. So while they're little like this, while they're still like my oldest is just starting preschool. So like it's not like when they get older, I'm sure I'll start like buying them more expensive type clothes like that. But like right now it's just nice to like be able to like just keep it simple.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think people overthink it a lot. So just like keep it simple, like stick with pieces that you would wear. I dress my boys like how my husband dresses. So like, I don't know, it's just kind of fun for them to like twin. But yeah, I think just keeping it simple and like not over analyzing it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so great to hear. There you hear it, ladies. From a professional stylist, she gets her kids' things sometimes at consignment places.
That's right.
Which is awesome.
Absolutely. And I think thrifting too, even for yourselves, like is a great way to try a trend that you don't want to splurge on.
Right.
So like I was saying like tie-dye, like, you know, you don't want to splurge on something that's going to be like $50 if it's going to be out of style in a season or like less than a season. So I really like thrifting for that reason is because you can just find things that, you know, I don't know. I just like trend, like sometimes like doing something that's really trendy, but not spending a ton of money on it.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea for that. And, you know, local businesses too, like local shops downtown, you can find a lot of really great things and stuff that not everybody has, which is another one that I love. Like I don't like buying a dress and going out and then having like maybe 3 or 4 other people wearing the same dress. You know, you like to be like a little bit different and feel like you're, you know, a little bit more put together and styled a little bit differently than anyone else. So
true. I don't think I've ever run into the issue of someone wearing the same dress as me, but with kids things, I noticed, and I've been thinking about it because Easter Sunday is coming up. Maybe I'll be at church, guys. Maybe I won't because it's my due date.
Man. You have a good excuse for that.
I know. But every year I notice, like kids-wise, not that it's a big deal, but you will see like 10 little girls with all the same like little Target dresses.
Yes.
Which are adorable. I love Target, but you'll see like, oh, I saw that dress.
Yeah.
And my daughters like a couple times have had similar things as other kids. And I don't care at all. But for Easter and like when we're going to be taking cute pictures and things like that, I like supporting local shops.
Yeah.
So that's one of the times that like I'll splurge. And I mean, we have done a bunch of shout outs for some of our favorite little kids boutiques, and Young and Free Apparel is one of them. They have really cute stuff. So Sweet is another brand that I think they just started making some boys things, but it's mostly like little girls' dresses, and the fabric is just so soft and a lot of florals, a lot of pretty prints. So for those type of occasions, I'll be like, okay, guys, we're going to get you cute dresses. No one else is going to have these.
Yeah.
But that's funny, like you said, like showing up somewhere and like someone else has the same look.
Right. Yeah. And I'm all about supporting local businesses too, like small businesses, especially like female-owned businesses. Like if there's any that are listening that you want to like shout out.
Nicole Taylor Boutique. She's actually sponsored the show. She's great. And she's right on Queen Street now, right?
That's right, yeah.
So in that little shopping section that's popular there, next to Sophie Stargazer Boutique is another fun one that we enjoy. So yeah, if you aren't local, what's cool is I do know that a bunch of these women have online shops now.
That's right,
I know that Nicole had given us a code for online shopping. You'll have to listen back. I think that was episode 12 of this season. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, guys. But but either way, we love to support locals. So wherever you're at, if you have a local boutique that you enjoy supporting, I feel like that's awesome. You're going to find things that are more unique, and you're also doing something good. And I know that a lot, at least, I shouldn't say a lot, but a handful of the shops I enjoy downtown, they really feature and they focus on like more, what's the word? Sustainable?
Yeah.
Sustainable brands. Some of them have accessories and things that are made by women who, by making those things, it's getting them out of poverty, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those are always great causes too. So I feel like sometimes you'll find items that are sustainably made at a local boutique that you wouldn't find at the mall.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely important to support like local businesses, local businesswomen. And, if they have stuff that you can't find anywhere else, like even better, then you won't be showing up to the party in the same dress.
Isn't there a segment in like a OK magazine or something?
You wore it better.
Yeah. Or like, Joan Rivers used to do it on Fashion Police. The bitch stole my look.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation. So,
no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. We talk about everything on this show. We just talk about how we went from like church and Easter to like Joan Rivers. Oh man. Well, I feel like I learned a lot. You had such great tips today. I did have one last random question for anyone that is local. They might also be interested. Since we've mentioned the mall, there are like 2 main stores that are now gone.
That's
and
right.
As a stylist, I would love to know, like, are there any department stores that you would love to see take their place?
Oh, that's hard. My husband and I were actually talking about this the other day. We're like, well, what should go in the Bon-Ton? What should go in Sears is the other one that's closing, right? Yeah. So I sort of was thinking, like, if they wanted to do the whole, like, clothing realm, I would do maybe like a Nordstrom, like an actual Nordstrom. I know we have a Nordstrom rack, but I think Nordstrom would be good just because they're just a great, like, place to go because they have a really great return policy and their prices are pretty reasonable.
Yeah, so it would be similar to kind of what
it would be
was.
similar, but I think if they did like a whole different thing, I mean, like, I don't know, like a movie theater. I've heard like people talk about like a Dave & Buster's or something like that. But as far as clothing, I think a Nordstrom would be cool to go in there. Yeah. Yeah. But I think
maybe like a Crate and Barrel or something. Yeah. That would need a lot of space.
Definitely. I really hope that the mall kind of gets up and going again because I sort of feel like there's a lot of businesses that are leaving and
so many
and kind of going online or doing whatever. So I think it's a little sad. I mean, because it's a very different experience than we experienced growing up.
Yeah, I feel like no matter where you're listening from, you probably have a mall near you that like might not be doing so well. Yeah. Because I think it's been like a nationwide thing. I actually saw like a BuzzFeed article recently that was like malls of yesteryear or something. Definitely. And it's so sad. Some of these are completely like abandoned places because they've just gone under. And in this area, we have this beautiful shopping center that, like you said, I'd like to see it bounce back because there are a lot of nice shops in it. It's just like a staple. Like it's a big place that I can't imagine. I don't want to drive by it and it become like deserted.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I can't imagine our town without Park City. I mean, it's just, it's a staple.
And it's where you go to get like your pictures with Santa.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we have covered all the things. Can you remind people where to find you again and how to take advantage of that discount?
Yeah, so it's jessicatimblinstyling.com, and I'm on Instagram at Jessica Timblin Styling, and also on Facebook, so you can find me there. And I will be offering your listeners 10% off of the Sort Shop Style package if they book by the end of April. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, definitely take Jessica up on that. I might have to do that myself, although I probably wouldn't be able to book that with you for a few weeks here.
Yes.
But that would be so helpful. I could get my post-baby body clothing put together. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I had so much fun.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah. This was really fun.
Well, anytime. And moms, if no one has told you yet today, you're doing amazing.
Thank you so much for listening today. You are a part of a growing community of moms, business owners, and women who are here to encourage and inspire. You can connect with Rachel at Rachel Klein Creative on Instagram or rachelkleincreative.com. To keep up with Christine and her latest events, follow her business journey on Instagram at @BellenberryCo. And if you want to be first to know about upcoming guests and giveaways, sign up for the Thrive Podcast email list today. Simply visit rachelkleincreative.com/The Thrive Podcast or follow @The Thrive Podcast on Instagram. If you've enjoyed listening this week or you've already added our show to your favorites playlist, we'd love for you to write us a review on iTunes. Your support and positive feedback allows us to keep encouraging moms and business owners each week.